All right. Affirm has earnings tomorrow. That's Thursday afternoon, which I'll be live for to give my live reactions to Affirm earnings. And I just have to say this is one of the few stocks that I like that still report for a loss. I've been very adamant virtually since the end of last year, talking about owning stocks that that make some sort of profit, that report positive earnings. Those are going to be really important stocks to own going into a rising rate environment, and I still stand by that. But there are exceptions to the rule, and Affirm, in my opinion, is just that. There's a lot of reasons that I love this stock, and the fact that it's come down from its $176 highs, which I also said got away from itself when it was all the way up there, but now is super attractive. And I'm going to give a couple reasons as to why. But first, also make sure you're hitting that join button next to subscribe, because Affirm was one that I had put on the watch list for our Chaos crew. So if you're not part of the crew and you want to support the channel and get that fantastic watch list before the market opens every day, hit the join button. Love to have you guys there as part of the Chaos crew. So Affirm's earnings per share tomorrow are expected to come in at a loss of 34 cents per share. Revenue is going to come in at 328.8 million is what the expectation is, I should say. And I think that they should beat that handily. The dynamic here, though, is obviously CPI numbers come in earlier in the morning tomorrow. That is Thursday. And that's going to certainly play a factor here. If they come in hotter than expected, I think Affirm could be into some trouble, just because if we're seeing more inflation, that means that there's going to be more talk of the Fed raising rates faster, higher, what have you. So that could damage something like an Affirm who still reports for a loss. That being said, the growth here is absolutely incredible. I think the buy now, pay later space is going to be the future of what we see as far as credit's concerned. Not saying that the credit card is going to go away completely, but I think that this is going to make a significant impact in that space, which is why I think Visa decided to partner with them. And in fact, all of the big players are huge tech companies like Amazon, Apple, and big other big box stores like Walmart also getting in on this game. I think Affirm is certainly one to own here. And so I think that those expectations on earnings also will be a handy beat. And I think the growth story is just getting started. Let's take a look at the chart to see where this could potentially be headed. So if I'm looking at the chart here, it just broke over resistance as of this recording, which is Wednesday. And I think that this is very telling. This was clearly oversold down here in the 40s. And to be honest, it just didn't belong down here. Does it belong in the 70s? And I think that that's going to be a question that will get answered once earnings come out. But I think, yes, I think that this belongs back over $100 a share. And I think it gets back there in short order, especially if they come in and talk about growth. That's going to be the key for them, because obviously a path to profitability is definitely important, but they want to see growth. Are they going to beat expectations on revenue? Are they relying less and less on companies like Peloton and leaning into companies like Amazon? That's going to be the real key here for Affirm. But looking at the chart, this is the 50-day moving average represented by this yellow line. We have the magenta. I like to say the word magenta. It's very fun to say. The magenta line is the 200-day moving average. And so that's going to be the next key area. You can see that they crossed right here at a support that I actually had marked here from a while ago at $90. So $90 a share is going to be a very key, important place to watch. If it moves up here to around 85 and consolidates, I think that we could see the makings of a cup and handle pattern, which still represents a bullish move for Affirm. So despite the move that it's had from $48 all the way up to 75, that's what, a 35% move up from its low down here. It's a 30%. Yeah, 30%. Sorry, I'm doing that math in my head. Either way, it's a pretty decent move from the bottom. But I still think that we have plenty of room to run, especially given where it's come from. Can it get a little overheated? Sure. But those earnings that come out tomorrow, as if they come out and they're much higher than what people were expecting, which I think they are, I think Affirm goes the hell off. And full disclosure, I do not own Affirm right now, but I actually plan on buying some Affirm calls depending on how it reacts to those CPI numbers tomorrow before these earnings come out. I'm not going to go crazy on them. I think I'm just going to take just enough amount to get excited about it if it does well. And if it doesn't, well, then I just lost a little bit of money that I didn't really care about losing anyway. And I think that's how you go about doing this. If you're going into Affirm with this expectation that it's going to change your zip code, then I think you might want to take a step back and reevaluate your situation if you can't afford to take that loss. If you can, then I think you're going to be just fine. And I think holding on to Affirm through these earnings will serve you well. That's going to do it for me. Let me know what you think about Affirm in the buy now, pay later space. What do you think about it? Is it the future? Is this just a fad? is it here to stay? Definitely want to get your thoughts on this and on Affirm specifically. Again, I'll be live at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow as well to go over this live and give my live reactions. So I hope to see you guys there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, as you will get notified when I go live, and I'll see you tomorrow.